So this is the key trends data page, and this is where we're going to start to find questions that you'll be using for your individual projects. You'll see that these variables are broken into 5 categories: gender and marriage, current affairs, civil liberties, politics, and religion and spirituality. Now from here, you can actually click on any of the links. It will all take you to the same page. So I'm just going to click on children and working. And again, you can see that the 5 categories are listed across the top: gender and marriage, current affairs, civil liberties, politics, religion, and spirituality. Now, it's my strong recommendation that you pick 6 questions within the same category. It just keeps things simpler. So pick all 6 of your questions within one of these categories, but each one you can switch to a different one, right? So on gender and marriage, you can see the first question here, number of children, right? This is pretty obvious. It's how many children does the person have? And click on the down arrow. And this is where you can see all the questions in this category. So a working mom can have as good a relationship with a child as a non-working mom. Do you agree or disagree? Do you approve or disapprove of a married woman working? Remember that GSS has been around since the 1970s. So some of these questions are things that people thought very differently about 50 years ago than they do now. So that's why we keep asking the same questions over and over again. So let's say that my first question that I want to pick is happiness of marriage, which is right here. So I'm just going to click on it. I can see here the response possibilities. So very happy, pretty happy, not too happy, don't know. So there were 4 possible responses to this question. This is a nice simple variable. I would say that you want to make sure that your variables have 4 or less responses. So keep things simple and pick stuff with 4 or less responses. So here you can also scroll down and see the question. So here, taking all things together, how would you describe your marriage? Would you say that your marriage is very happy, pretty happy, or not too happy? Right, so that's the question the person was asked. And I want to go over here to variable, and you see HAPMAR. This is what the variable would be called in the data set. But if we just click on it, you can see here that the variable, a little more information about the variable, right, about it being asked and so forth. Don't worry too much about the complicatedness here. But what you want to do is save to MyGSS. So click here on this button, and it will save to your GSS. And I'll show you how to use this later. But for now, we're just going to try to get all 6 of our variables in MyGSS. So if you add a variable by accident, you can always remove it. But go ahead and add it here. So back to key trends. Let's see. I'm also going to pick, do you approve or disapprove of a married woman working? And again, this one is even simpler. There are only 3 categories: approve, disapprove, don't know. And down here, again, I can see the question: do you approve or disapprove of a married woman earning money in business or industry if she has a husband capable of supporting her? And again, we have the variable, and I'm just going to click here on the variable name. And then you can see I've already added this to my GSS. So it's already in my database. This is also a good place to check to see if a question is too complicated. So for example, if I clicked on number of children and I look at the number of responses, you can see here that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible responses. That's a little too complicated for us to work with as you're just learning how to use this tool. Again, it's my strong recommendation that you pick variables with 4 responses or fewer. So this is too much, so we don't want to pick this question, right? So maybe I'm going to go to working mom can have as good a relationship with a child as a non-working mother. You can see here that the categories are going to be simple because it's agree or disagree. You can also look at questions like these that have kind of an obvious yes or no answer, right? Does a respondent have a marital partner? This one actually turns out to have more question responses than I thought. Again, 5 questions, so 5 options, so I don't want to pick this one. Ever been widowed? Yes, no, don't know. Oh, this is a good option. This only has 3 response categories, right? So again, I can scroll down here. I can look at the question, make sure I like it, and then if I do, I can click on the variable. So for these variables, again, you want to look for the simplest possible variables. So generally, these agree, disagree are going to have too many categories. So you can see here, strongly agree, agree, disagree, strongly disagree, don't know. That's 5 categories. It's going to be harder for you to deal with in your data analysis. So I would stay away from these. So maybe I'm going to pick, should divorce be easier or more difficult to obtain? And here I have easier, more difficult, stay the same, don't know. So I have 4 categories. That's good. Again, I can look at the question down here. Should divorce in this country be easier or more difficult to obtain than it is now? I'm fine with that question, so I'm going to click on this one and save to my GSS. All right, so just remember, you're going to start with key trends, pick a question, look at the number of response categories. If it's 4 or fewer, you can go down and read the question and make sure that you like the question. And then if you do, you just click on the variable name and save to MyGSS. So once you have all of your variables selected, you want to double check that everything's been saved. So the easiest thing to do is go to MyGSS. And you're going to see here GSS year for this respondent and ballot. Those are automatically added. Don't worry about those. But here below, you see my 6 questions. So people should live together before marriage. A bad marriage is better than none at all. Have you ever been divorced or separated? How happy is your marriage? Divorce laws looks a little different than the question, but this was the question about should divorce be easier or more difficult to obtain? And approve or disapprove of a married woman working. So all of my questions are here. So you want to make sure that you've got all 6 of your variables here. And if you can't remember what a question is, like this divorce laws question is not very descriptive, just click on the variable name. And again, it'll take you back here. You can look at the question, should divorce in this country be easier or more difficult to obtain than it is now? All right. If you look here and you do not have all 6 of your variables, go back to key trends and click on one of the subcategories and then go to your category and look for your question. And find the question. Again, make sure it has 4 or fewer response categories. And then, check the question, make sure you like it, and then click on the variable name and save to MyGSS. And once you have all 6 of your variables, then you're done with this assignment. Later, we're going to talk about how to actually analyze these variables.